All right, welcome to the Total Pile Podcast, episode 1. I'm here with my good friend Brock Davis.
Hello, hello.
I'm Tyler Courtney, and we're just two dudes who just enjoy playing Pokemon way too much. And so we're just going to hang out here, talk about EUIC, talk about how we started playing, how we even met real quick, I guess is a good thing to do.
Yeah,
Um,
probably a good way of starting.
Probably a good way to just introduce ourselves, just general knowledge stuff. So how about you start, Brock? When did you start playing? How long you been playing? The gist.
So I started playing back when I was a kid, back during like Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire era. And then
How old were you? Like
I
5?
no, I was like 7, 8.
Oof.
I started playing like because the neighborhood kids, we all played together, and it was just we would like play outside. We didn't realize how damaging we were playing with our cards
No
and
one
stuff.
used actual energies, right? It was
No.
just like, yeah,
No,
here I
no.
have it was Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon mixed together.
Exactly. And then we had this girl in the neighborhood who like actually like wanted to play the game by the rules. So we
Losers.
decided yeah, we decided to learn how to play. So we actually built real decks and actually learned how to play the game. And my mom started taking me to this scrapbooking shop that hosted Pokemon events.
That's
And it was a really weird place because it was like on one side of the store it was like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, and then the other side was like scrapbooking pages and like all that kind of stuff. So it
that's
was really
awesome.
weird, but it was a cool place.
That's insane.
Um, and at the time, the junior second place world champion or second place runner up for juniors that year also attended the exact same league. So it was not what you would think a normal like juniors league was. It was like serious, like trial by fire.
Try. I was just about to say, try to throw you in the fire real quick,
Yeah. So like you had to get better, or you just didn't win games.
which is
And
crazy
like my
too, because like you started out
yeah,
but you that's still Wizard of the Coast cards.
it was right after Wizard of the Coast.
Oh,
So
I
it was
guess
like
because
the rotation
Aquapolis
after
is
Wizard of the
next,
Coast.
right? After that, yes, I think you're right. I think
Well, no, no,
Wizard.
no, no, no. So it was Aquapolis and Skyridge, and then it was Ruby and Sapphire. That's when the first baby EXs came out.
Right. Hey, you said Fire and
Yeah,
Red Leaf Green though.
yeah. Ruby and Sapphire was
Oh,
right
dude, I'm confusing
before
video
Fire Red
game.
Leaf Green.
Yeah, I'm confusing
Yeah.
video game with TCG stuff. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So yeah, they were all like in that same time period.
Right.
Um, but my dad decided to take me to a regional for the first time back in 2006.
A whopping
And
50 players.
it was I don't remember how many players it was. But all I remember from that tournament was I went 4-2 or 4-1 in Swiss, and then I made top 16 and then lost in top 16. Um, to the same deck that I lost to in Swiss. It was like an Entei Wailord deck. It was weird. Now that I'm like look back on it, I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Um, but that was like the first real tournament I went to, and it was really cool.
That is incredible. Um, and then so I'll go. So I
When
started
did you
playing.
start playing?
I started playing Diamond and Pearl. Base set Diamond and
Okay.
Pearl 2008. My parents got me. My first game was Pearl, and so that led to a DS and some cards and whatnot. And then
Gotcha.
old school local library. We're talking like local public city
Yes.
library. I couldn't tell you the quality of anything now. That league no longer exists. It's not a thing
Most.
anymore. No,
I
it's
was
like
about to
it's
say
just
none of
gone,
those exist anymore.
gone, just off the map. And this is even before. I don't know how long it's been gone for. I haven't been in the same state for about 7 8 years, whatever, since then.
Yeah.
But like, long story short, like I started playing Diamond and Pearl. I never took it. I was a senior at the time, so like I never traveled or did anything crazy. Um, but I did go to 2008 Nationals, was the biggest
Okay.
tournament that I've been to at the time when I was a kid. Um, And then like the one claim to fame still in my entire like Pokemon career, which is like not great, but like I top 4 to state championships, which was
Okay.
sick. I mean, I think I still have it hidden somewhere on my top shelf. But they used to give out those glass trophies. Do you remember those?
Yes.
I
I
have
never
it
won
here.
one.
I do. I think I have it. Hold on one second. I'm not audible. Check Tuesday. Oh, I do. I still have it. Let's go. This is old school. It doesn't say the state though, which is the terrible part. Oh, my screen's gonna make it reflective. But
Was
it's
it?
the curved Dragonite one. God knows how long these have been around. That's my one claim to fame and like the one League Cup that I got the Gengar map behind me, which is sick.
Yeah, you beat me in top 4.
And then I beat
You
Clayton
beat Kenny.
in the final.
Yes. You beat. What you beat Kenny in top 8, I think.
I did. I don't know. If we had enough for a top 8, but maybe. I'm not gonna say we didn't. I remember.
I just remember. So all I remember about that League Cup is I know you won it, but the fact that everyone tried to ID with you.
Yeah,
And
it was.
you would not ID with anyone. You went 5-0.
Who wouldn't? Who needs the ID, bro? Like, I heard this is a League Cup. This is before League Cups were even big. I think it was like a 19-person League Cup. So like
It's still about that size down here.
Whoa! And it's like I'm similar up here, but it's just like, top 8 was 3-1-1. Like as soon as I got 3 wins, I was basically guaranteed in. Like why not just play the game?
You didn't know that at the point.
No,
Did you know it at that point?
I think I technically knew because like there's only 18 players. So like mathematically I knew I was in, and the guy that I was playing or whoever was playing at the time was like basically even if they lose that round or I lose that round, I still have 2 more games to win one. Like I just kind of backed myself, almost like the new school. It's like, oh, hey, you're gonna ID in a day 2. Like, nah, bro, you go for it, type of thing. Before it was popular,
With no like reason though, because
no
you were in top 8
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason at all.
You're just like, I just want to prove I'm good.
Well, and so that's what I'm gonna segue into this. So I lived in Memphis for what, a year and a half, maybe at most.
I'd say maybe I say about a year at most.
And that is the scene Brock and I met in, and we bonded over the card of the day. I have it already pulled up. Doesn't know about it. It's Pikarom. I had to pick Pikarom for our first card of the day.
Exactly.
Brock and I started. That's when we first met. I came back to my first event. Back was a tag team.
It was tag team based set.
I was like, hey, Pokemon's not cool. I'm an adult, whatever. And then I leave my hometown for a job in Memphis, and I was like, oh, dude, there's a Pokemon pre-release. This is sick. Like PTCGO was still thriving. Like we were all good. Better days in the back. And this is pre Cosmic Eclipse. So like we're talking end of GX era, early Sun and Moon tag team type of stuff. And so
I was about to say there basically was like 3 decks. You either played Pikarom, Zorobox,
Charizard, or
no, Reshizard wasn't out yet.
So yeah, this next set after was Unbroken Bond. So that's when Charizard came out. And thanks for the follow, appreciate you. We'll edit that one out. It's fine. But like, long story short, it's just like me and Brock played this card. I want to say for 9 months straight of just knowing each other. Too long. Like we thought it was better than maybe Brock didn't. I did. I was a homer.
I did not.
It was better. It was better than Charizard. It was better than ADP. I won't let anyone tell me otherwise. It's the only deck that I've ever blinged out totally.
It's also the only it's the only tag team that survived everything.
Correct.
Like it was a real deck until the day it rotated.
It was also always in it too because it resisted Zacian. Like it was technically unfavorable to play it. We're not going to deny that. But like you were swinging for 250. Well, nah, bro. I'm hitting resistance and I'm living by 10 HP and I'm going to tag bolt you next turn. Like we're in it. And so this is one of my favorite cards of all time. But then this leads into what happens next. So like I actually moved away pre-COVID. And I stopped playing the game during COVID completely. And then this fall, I didn't even think about for 2 seconds. I got back into the game, I want to say during oh gosh, I lost Origins. Or I guess I don't know if he was even Lost Origins or Silver Tempest. It's around that time point, but I just started buying singles and started playing locally again. And then me and some buddies here from Lincoln went to Peoria, and I literally run into Kenny, one of our good buddies, literally at a booth. I was like, "Oh, dude, the Memphis crew's probably here. Where's Brock?" And it literally took like 3 rounds later for me to find you. And I still had your number saved. So like we were
Yes.
talking for 3 rounds. I still couldn't find you in the vicinity. Long
Well,
story
okay, so
short,
I was about to say that the funny thing is about this is like the reason he couldn't find me was I was like on a heater, that the first heater I've ever been on at a regional. Because normally when I do well at regionals, it's like I'm just kind of like slow, like I do very bad at the beginning and then I pull it out at the end. But this one I started 401. So I was like just staying in a corner away from everybody.
no one talk to me. I'm on one. Like, no,
Yes, leave
no,
me alone.
stay out of this. We're gone. And what'd you play for that? You played Arceus Duraludon? Am
Played
I right?
Arceus,
Bro,
Duraludon,
get
Vulpix.
out of here, bro. We're talking. This is
That deck was
2023. We're
awful.
playing
That deck
Arceus
was
Dur.
awful. It
Ah,
got me
your
points,
good
but that
matchup
deck
is
was
only
awful.
single strike Lugia.
No, it's single strike
Don't
Lugia,
lie.
Charizard that didn't know how to play against it because they had to hit you like if
You
you
had
do
to hit
the
for
Snow
330.
Mirage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing is like if you
Oh, you
Snow
played the
Mirage it,
Vulpix. I totally forgot you played the
yeah.
Vulpix in it.
We played a 2/2 Vulpix, a 2/2 Dura.
Yeah, bro, get out of here with that deck. It's ridiculous. And so that literally led to us off and on talking about just locals. Like Brock travels a lot more than I do. But that's okay. We're just grooving and we're just vibing. That's the best part of Pokemon. So literally a friendship for 5 years ago restarted this year, or I guess last year.
Exactly.
And so now we're just like, dude, let's do a podcast. We're just chilling. Let's hang out and talk Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna get right to it. The biggest tournament, what is it, west of Japan.
Yeah,
Happened
it's the
this
biggest
weekend.
tournament outside of Japan.
Outside of Japan. EUIC happened. Let's hear your original thoughts. I got the top 8 pulled up on the screen, /32. You just can't see all of them. Let's hear your initial thoughts. I just open-ended kind of thing. How many games did you watch? What's going on here? What are your thoughts?
I watched almost all of day one because I was at work and
Yeah.
it was slow and I just kind of
Slacking.
had it in the background.
Yep.
And the biggest surprise for me was the 2 different Zard lists that came out and Gardevoir.
Yeah.
So a little backstory on why I'm surprised with Gardevoir is like last format pre-rotation, I won like 4 League Cups with Gardevoir. And I told everybody, I was like, the deck's dead, deck's gone. Like, it's awful post-rotation. Because you lose everything. Like, the whole concept of the deck is gone. And then
Right.
Fabian bubbled at 9th with the exact same resistance as Bert. And he got 9th with it. And I'm like, and I look at the list and I'm like, this can't be good. But he got streamed, and it actually seems not awful. As long as you start one of the 3 good starters you have,
Right. You cut out there a
going
little
second.
bit. Yeah, you're
Because
good.
they're choosing to go second, they do the Arvin. Yeah, like the deck just seems weird, but from what I've been told, it has a really good Lugia and Charizard matchup, which was like 40% of the room.
Yeah, and like the biggest thing with that, and like you partially cut out there, but you're talking about the Guardy Arvinzard toolbox. It's all Driftloom, it's all Screamtail, and it's cooking. I haven't seen the exact 60 yet. We only have the top 32 decks, and not all of them have lists yet. On the screen now is the top 6 decks from day one, and like he said, it's 9% Lugia, 22%, 23% Charizard. And I would not be shocked, like what you said, it's a good matchup into both of those. I think the biggest thing is just like I was always scared of the vacuum turn. But like you said, it's super shocking to see anything near with Gardevoir involved at all in this tournament. I think that's the wrong button. Is there I don't have the everything else picture. You know how they do that everything else, like other not top 6 decks for day one, but that's okay. Biggest thing too, okay, then so for me, my biggest surprise, and like I streamed and commentated over round 1, and then I tracked it for the rest of the day, Round one, Vinny Fernandez, Charlotte regional champion
Yes.
from Brazil. Or I'll say Latin America. I think it's Brazil though.
It's Brazil. It's Brazil.
Played Dinobox. And I don't have the list pulled up, but his friend slash teammate played the exact same 60, and he got, where is it at? 11th. João Pedro played the exact 60 and got 11th. And I was blown away by this. This man was hitting 250 like turn 3 with Vengeful Fletching. And I was like, man, maybe I was totally wrong. I thought this deck had no business being played whatsoever. I thought it was just nothing. And then they throw on the fact that they played Ancient Drum instead of Prime Catcher, which even threw me for the bigger of a loop. I was like, what are we doing? Like, you're only playing 3 Gust cards plus a drum, and I guess 1 Pal Pad, so you can use the boss twice. But it was wild. And so, like, the fact that this is just, it just proves that this format is so wide open. And then we'll move here into day 2. The percentages wise, they actually improved for Chen Pao. And Lugia still stayed at 9. Future hands actually went up from 6 to almost 10. Like, the conversion rate on some of these cards was shocking to me. And then the fact that, I guess another big shocker is too, is like, this is obviously past day 1, but Iron Hands, Iron Crown, Future Box, whatever you want to call it, was only 7% of the meta, which it had so much hype. Iron Hands is $20 a card. Can't find them anywhere. Like, how is this not more than a 10% deck? And everyone had plenty of time to get the cards. Like,
well, I think the biggest thing with that deck is like everyone loved playing Miraidon last format, and this is like the new like Miraidon / Iron Valiant deck is how it feels like it plays.
no, it's 2.0. Yeah, I love
it. Yeah,
It
it's like it's that we like to, or like in my group, we like to call it like the unfair decks, like the Valiant deck, the Rapid Strike deck from last format. Like, they're unfair. Like, they get so far ahead that it doesn't really matter what you do, because against certain matchups you just auto win, but then other matchups you're like, oh, I kind of just lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Scenes. I think it's got a future. And we'll talk about it more when we talk about top 8, which is right now. Unless you have any closing thoughts about day 2, kind of your thoughts overall on that.
The fact, so I thought there was going to be more Chin Pao than there was. That was one of the decks I was really hyped on.
Yeah,
'cause it just
40 in day
seemed
2.
so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 in top 32, or what? 1, 2.
Yeah, only 4 in top 32. And then I'll go back to the listings here. I think it's 4. There's a couple decks that aren't listed here, but I see 2 lists confirmed Chen Pao, possibly 4. Limitless only has top 8. PTCG Legends has top 32, but not everyone's lists or even deck. Like, we're still missing the 10th place deck overall. I don't even know what they played. But yeah, only, I think it was 4, the confirmed top 32 Chen Paos.
And that, to me, that's kind of wild, because I think it's another thing. It's another one of those decks where it's like, I think it just can blow decks out of the water, but at the same time, it's like, in my testing leading up to like the first events of the season or the rotation, its Charizard matchup, if they're playing Max Belt, is bad now, when that on paper should be good.
Yeah, I think
so. It's like
that, just the ability to hit 250 or whatever, it would be 230, 220,
230,
whatever. No, it's 70 plus 50 math, dude. I don't know. Or it's 180 plus 50. You're right, 230.
Yeah.
Is game changing. It really is. Like you said, like, you can get a knockout turn 1 going first with Zard. As long as you set up decently, have a Charizard or a Charmander and a Pidgey and a decent hand in front of you, you can get that first knockout on a Chen Pao turn 2. If you're lucky enough, right? Obviously, it's not going to happen every game, but variants and stuff like that. I think it makes it a huge swing. The benefit of pre-rotation Chen Pao is you could literally Shivery Chill 2 or 3 times confidently, knowing that you couldn't get knocked out. But now you just get, if you don't start well, which sometimes that deck is a little bricky, it just be over. It's just gone. And so like, and I think that's the same thing. Like my biggest shock, there's not a single Goldengo, I don't think anywhere near this tournament, but like those were the two
That didn't
hypest
surprise
deck.
me.
Well, I know, but even like when Japan first got it, like Goldengo,
Yeah.
Chien-Pao, these big, I'm gonna hit you for infinite damage, we're rolling type of decks, just instantly fell off. First two tournaments, if you count the Champions League in Japan, just fell right off. And that shocked me because I thought without Path, I thought Goldengo could have been key. And it doesn't mean it's not going to be the right time at some point for it, but like it just literally fell off an island. It seems like. We'll switch to my favorite topic of this entire thing, and that is the 7th place list. I've been hype on this deck since probably it won an online tournament, which is obviously they're all fake. All online tournaments are fake. But Roaring Moon Dudunsparce. This deck is insane. We'll get to more of the cool serious decks in a second, but this is a top 8 deck, so this is going to take a moment.
I think this is a serious deck.
I think it is too. I think the Dudunsparce might be the answer for a lot of decks. It seems like if you don't start a Buddy Poffin, like same old format, right? No BVIP, no Battle VIP Pass, no gas, right? But it's the same thing. If you don't have a good 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 basics turn 1, you're behind the 8 ball the entire game. Unless your opponent starts slow or whatever. Like, I feel like it's the exact same problem as last format. And this deck finds everything. I played it at locals today. I went 2-1. My one loss, I decked myself out with Explorer's Guidance.
Yeah.
This is why playing in person is important.
At a time or two.
Playing in person is important. Don't just play online before a big tournament. But this deck doesn't miss. I think the only things that I would change, and this is based off me playing it today, is that I might swap shoes for gears. And shoes is nice if it's an ancient card. If shoes is nice if it's an ancient card you don't need on the top of your deck. But if you're not playing supporters turn 1, turn 2, this deck goes nowhere because you only play 2 Ultra Ball. So I might mess with the ball count a little bit. But if you don't have a Dudunsparce setup or a Greninja setup, like you're very slow. But that's obviously expected, right? Every deck's draw engine's very important. We're not saying anything crazy here.
Yes.
This deck. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was about to say, I've been trying to shove a 1-1 Bidoof Bibarel line in everything this format so far.
Dude, don't need to. This is the Dudunsparce.
I'm not playing
my buddy plays Goldengo religiously, and this is the guy I decked out too. He played a 1-1. He played 2-2 to Dudunsparce in his Goldengo deck today. Yeah, he did, and he went 3-0. He beat. I decked out to him round 1, and then he went on and beat Giratina, which we'll talk about in a second, and Lugia to go 3-0 at our small locals today. Won the whole thing. It was fantastic. That's my biggest hype. I love this deck. It's so much fun. But we can start talking about the serious stuff here. So the winner of the entire event, which we haven't mentioned yet, was Tord Reklov. I think this is his 4th or 5th international championship. It's his 5th. His 5th international championship. And this is why we made the podcast this name. He played a total pile. I'm so upset and confused on how this works. Have you seen the list?
Yeah. It kind of makes sense to me.
It doesn't.
Because what I think... No, so, like, the thing is, like, the core of the deck, minus, like, the stall counters and the Cleffa, was kind of based off of a Japanese list that did very well.
Yeah.
That played a 1-1 Bidoof Bibarel line and the 2-2 Pidgey. I've been testing that for a while. And then the 1 Rotom, 1 Fish is just great, in my opinion.
Yeah. Which is also a staple of last format too. It's not like he reinvented the wheel playing both Fish and Rotom.
No. But in Japan now, everyone's playing 2 Rotom, no Fish.
Yes,
like,
I hate
everyone.
That. I much rather play the Cleffa and a Fish than a second Rotom.
Well, yes.
In my opinion, I know
That
some
was before the
people.
Cleffa
I
technology.
guarantee
though.
you, there's a Charizard list that did well. There's a Charizard list that did very well with 2 Rotom. Like that's totally fine.
Oh
Guaranteed
yeah.
turn 1 Rotom. I get it. It even plays 1 Nest Ball just to make sure you get Rotom. Like which just seems super random. But like they play
Yes.
1 Nest Ball.
Well,
So
that's the other. That was one of the cuts he made. Was like
no,
most of the lists I've seen are playing at least three,
oh yeah,
two or three nest
yeah
balls. So
he cut 2 Nest Balls out of normal lists for the Team Yells cheer, and it seems like the second Turo.
and the Turo,
Right, which is
yeah,
massive.
which is just for stall. So that basically you get to use Professor Turo 4 times.
Yeah, and he beat Stall in top 4.
He beat
He beat top
no,
8.
top
Sorry,
eight, but
top
yes.
8. Sorry, yes, he beat Stall in top 8.
But yeah, no.
How is that not the stream
like,
game? To be honest with you, how is Charizard teched out for Stall not the stream game round 1 top cut?
They knew he was gonna win, and they didn't want to put him on for back to back rounds.
But look, because they played both top 4 games anyway, so it wouldn't have been. It's the same thing no matter what. It's an
No,
IC.
that was the top 8.
No, I know.
He played that in top 8.
I know. I'm just saying, like in just general, they played both top 4 matches. So no matter what, if whoever won top 8 match was going to get streamed again.
Oh no,
4.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. And so no matter what, that could have happened. So and it did happen.
I think it was that fan vote thing.
Oh, did they do a fan
Or
vote?
the fans vote.
I'll be honest.
So.
The early times made it hard for me. I streamed round 1 on Friday because I woke up before work and did it.
What at like 3 a.m.
I went to bed. I went to bed at like 12:30 last night, just trying to figure out the schedule to know what time to wake up for the Masters final.
Exactly.
Because it changes every year. No, bro. And then we talked about this with.
I was hanging out with my friends last night.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with my friends last night, and we looked at it, and it was 3 a.m. And I was like, "Doesn't the finals start in like an hour?"
Yeah, because TCG. I don't think TCG was first, was it? I just woke up and it was on. To be honest.
No, it was third.
Yeah.
So it was Go first, and then I believe it was Unite, then TCG.
Shout out Unite. I love that game. But like this deck, like oh man, like it's so built for stall, and we'll talk about Bradner's list here in a second. With absolute heartbreak, Bradner made a final again and hasn't won the big one yet. I mean, he's won a regional before though, right?
No, he hasn't.
No,
not in Masters.
That's crazy. Anyways, but like the way Tord could just use those Turos and like there was a point in time where a Charizard deck did not have a 2 prizer in play. And like Tina just could do nothing. It was absolutely insane masterclass by Tord. I remember someone obviously WrestleMania is happening. I'm not a big WWE fan, but someone tweeted out like he's like the Roman Reigns of Pokemon because he just always wins. Like so, anyone who really gets that reference, go for it. I don't really understand it, but like I guess he's been like champion for like 1,000 days or something like that. And
so does this like after this tournament 5 ICs? I think it's like 10 plus regional wins. Has he surpassed Jason Klaczynski as the best player ever?
This could be a second pod, to be honest. I don't think so, but I'm also biased because I don't know if you remember this when you were a kid or not. And this is like, I don't know if this is arrogant or whatever word you want to use. Jason Klaczynski went on tour. Do you know this?
Yes.
He came to my small town Pokemon League when I was a kid, and he signed he signed my Torterra EX. And I remember it to this day.
That's awesome.
And I played a game of Skeptile Torterra level X against Jason Klaczynski. And I still remember that to this day. I probably lost. But just meeting him. So like it's like if you met LeBron, you're not gonna ever pick Jordan type of thing. And like I don't know enough.
I don't think he surpassed him either.
I don't know enough about Pokemon history to say if you do or don't, but like I mean there's a 3-time world champion and a 0-time world champion, and that's very LeBron, whatever. I'm not gonna do sports today. But like I don't know. This is all made up and like points don't matter. Who's on it is anyway style.
No.
I think Tord is the greatest player on the planet right now. And that's the biggest thing. Like he made what? 50 grand a day, 25 grand, whatever it is. By winning
25 grand,
whatever the pay structure is now.
Yeah,
man, absolutely nuts. And then Bradner's list, the biggest change to Tina. I love this change. I was trying to make it work without the Bayonet EX for the longest time because I think this card is the coolest. But Giratina Lost Box with the 2/2 Bayonet with the split of the EX and the Lost Zone one. And the Lost Zone is like if you evolve it, put Bayonet and shove it in your Lost Zone, get a supporter back. And like it's literally you could jump from 6 to 7 in one card. And it's the craziest
I was
thing.
about to say,
It's
if you go second with the deck, you can
VS
hit 10
Seeker.
turn 2. So you can Sableye turn 2.
Yeah, VS Seeker is broken. Now you put it on a Pokemon ability. You don't have to go find it. Like it's just there. Coolest thing I've ever seen. And then the Bayonet EX actually probably won Bradner the top 4 in game 1. Which that's the craziest sequence I've seen in the top 4.
I think he would have won either way.
No, he would have won the whole thing, but the fact that he won game 1 made it way easier because
in game 1, yes.
He
that
game
was
1
his only out.
He poltergeisted for, I think it was 460.
Exactly enough.
Yeah, for 460 on a Hero's Cape Mist Energy Pidgeot EX, and that literally won him the game. It was the coolest thing I've seen in Pokemon in a long time. I class to this group for making this
slow
version.
roll on it was amazing.
Bro, because he had to count how many, he had to make so many decisions in that split second to figure out. Because, like, I mean, again, it might have been a misplay on the control player's fault, but like, I think it was a 9-card hand. 7 of them had to be trainers or something like that. It was some nuts number like that. And sure enough, he had it. It was amazing. I think it was sick. I think Bayonet's a great addition to this deck. Shout out to I think Bradner, John Ang, I think Raul Reddy played the same list as well. A lot of big name players on this version of Tina.
I know it's them 3.
I know a lot. I think that group's pretty big
that.
though. Too. I think because like isn't like who is the Lugia player that made Lugia super popular? I think Reagan's in that group too.
Reagan.
And like that is just a very cool innovation.
Reagan. They work with a lot of people.
Yeah, they do. And that innovation of Bayonet, I never saw it anywhere before this tournament. And that is hard to do these day and ages. Like one of them could have played in an online tournament and it got leaked, right? Like something crazy, or someone saw it on the ladder and played it. Like I don't know. But long story short, I think it fixes the weirder control matchup now because they didn't play Spirit Tomb. So like that was their only answer to control if they lost all their pieces was the Bayonet. Like because previously you'd play the Spirit Tomb down, no insta charge. I'm gonna just slow roll you until we win the game. But like they're just like, nah, bro, we're gonna attack stall and we're gonna make this game quick in case we do lose. And like that's super cool. Obviously, I need to watch more of those games to figure out the ins and outs of that matchup. But Bayonet showed up in multiple rounds, I'm assuming, for Bradner in this group to get to top 4 like that.
I was about to say the two streams I saw, like the Bayonet, I felt like push them over the hump to where like they went from like in a weird spot to like probably being fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And then real quick, we'll talk about future hands 2 and top 8. Very similar list. It's very similar to the one going around online. Nothing crazy here, except for one of them played one crazy tech card, and I love it. Are you aware of this tech card?
The Erica's Invitation.
The Erica's Invitation is super cool. Imagine you're just holding on to a piece that, instantly just not good for Iron Hands matchup, and you just get the one of Erica's Invitation for 2 or 3 prizes, depending on what the Pokemon is, right? But like it had to have won him, like just a random, like he cheesed out probably at least 3 or 4 games minimum in this tournament.
Oh, easily.
Easily. Do you have any comments on Future
That's
Box?
one of those you play it. I personally don't like Future Box
because he's a hater.
I feel like the deck just does what it does, and if you have a well-timed vacuum, you just kind of lose. But vacuums are like seeing less and less play currently.
Only Charizard plays it. Only Charizard currently plays a vacuum.
I was about to say Charizard plays one, and there's a couple other decks here and there that. But in this tournament, you see nobody played vacuum.
Nobody.
Like almost none of these decks in the top 16 played a vacuum. Like Tina dropped it off, but Tina doesn't really need it because they can Lost Requiem around it.
Right.
But all these other decks besides the Charizard, and Charizard's only playing one.
Yeah.
If you prize at any point. So, like,
Yeah, it's super
I
hard.
don't like the deck because it feels like if you just play a vacuum, which is just generically good, the deck just kind of shuts down.
Yeah, the two heavy baton system is very heavily reliant. It definitely helps when no one's playing vacuum, right? Obviously, it super helps. The second tech card that I want to talk about, also in Iron Hands, was played by Juho, the other top 8 list. He played a one of Crisis Punch, and this is also super clever because that last prize is so hard to take with Iron Hands. You either to get a 1 knockout on a 2 prizer, so you're at 3, and then you get a baby knockout for 2. You're just left there. You have 1 prize card left, and you're basically just waiting until your opponent is like at 1 prize card. But like the fact that you can get 280 with 2 or 3 crown down, and then you're knocking out a Charizard with your Miraidon.
I was about to say you're like Okoing with 3.
You're
That's
Oko.
crazy.
It's disgusting. It's such a clever tech, especially with the 4 Arvin, the Town Store, if you play it or not. Juho did play the Town Store. I think the Crisis Punch is insane. I love it. And then you have...
which one of the 2 would you take?
I think consistency-wise, I'm taking the Crisis
Erica?
Punch. It's easier to find in the list. Erica is so timely, and if you have to research, you're not playing Pal Pad. It's very more situational. Crisis Punch I could find whenever and make it happen. Obviously, you do run the risk of, hey, I had to research it turn 1, turn 2. But like that scenario plays out with both cards, right?
Also, Juho played 4 Iron Hands.
Yeah, I've been seeing 4-4, 4-3, 4-3-2. I think the dude, I'm so sorry. I have no idea how to say your name. Axelson.
Juho.
No, the other guy.
Juho.
No, I know how to say Juho. The other guy. It's UFFE. You give me your best shot right here, real quick. Let's hear it.
Axelson.
Okay, great. Yeah. That's a great pivot. That's the pivot.
I'll be the cop out.
But yeah, I think it's fine either way. I don't think it matters to me. But I'm also not an Iron Hands expert player.
Neither am I.
Axelson played the 4-3. Juho played 4-4. They both played 2 Miraidon, 1 Mew. And so I think both overall, it's a solid deck, and I think it's going to be around for the next until Iron Hands rotates. There's no reason for it not to be, you know?
I was about to say, like, the whole deck just is cohesive. You have the radars to just search the whole deck.
The BIP pass at home.
Whenever, yeah, it's just so consistent. Like, the only change, like, I really like the Iron Bundle in the deck. I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, the Iron Bundle is just cool in general. I try to find a place in every list for an Iron Bundle.
But that's the only thing that, like, I look at it and I'm like, okay, that's the only card it feels like it's missing. It's like a bundle.
Yeah, then again, in Axelson's list, he's playing the invitation instead of a bundle, right? Like that's the same.
Yes, that makes sense. It serves the same purpose.
I think Juho is just going at it like, hey, this is Iron Hands, we're going at it. And he won LEIC with Miraidon, so like he is fully aware how to play this. Also, shout out to him. He played really well in the winning in versus the top 16, the Dudunsparce Roaring Moon. But also, I think the Dudunsparce Roaring Moon kind of drew bad game 2, game 3. That kind of happens, right? He didn't get the setup we were talking about earlier on in the podcast. But Juho played it really well. He didn't need a single Iron Crown until the last knockout on a big moon. And it was nuts. Like he literally, because the Roaring Moon player never got capsules on. And so he was just literally Iron Handsing for 140 with the booster capsule and didn't have any Iron Crown in play. And so it was literally just like, as soon as that key started falling behind, it was over. And that happens. Last tech, before we start talking about what this does for Orlando, Control finished 3rd and lost to Bradner, which this is like, we can talk about a different pod as well.
And
8th. But this is it the same list? No, one has one plays Snorlax.
They're very different.
They're very different. Yeah. I want to focus because the 8th place one is very traditional. This is the one that lost the Tord. It's more traditional stall. The 3rd place one is the Radiant Zard one, which is crazy. This guy, the time rules are just never in favor of Control. And I think
No.
they need to get rid of him in Top Cut. If the judges call if you're stalling for time, like just eliminate that from the thing. Like this happened in Worlds last year with Tord and Vance. Like Vance won in time because of prizes taken, remember? And
Yeah.
this happened to Alessandro versus Bradner in top 4. Bradner took 2 prizes in game 3 and just wins the whole thing. But the fact the way this guy won game 2 is insane. He basically Bradner gets down to 1 prize, and this man just starts penny looping Radiant Zard with a Hero's Cape or a Defiance Band for every knockout he needs, and just cleans the board up seamlessly. He just is chilling with Pidgeot EX on the bench, Mist Energy, Hero's Cape on the Pidgeot, and he's just flowing through the deck. And he's just, every card he needs, nothing crazy, just, I'm going to kick every knockout I need with Radiant Zard. And it was the coolest thing ever. But also was probably this is also the player who beat Mark playing the Roaring Moon Dudunsparce in top 8. He's playing the Noivern EX, which I haven't seen install. I've seen it a little bit in Lugia because Iron Hand's matchup is so bad, but he's playing the Noivern install, and this is a problem. This is an absolute problem. Anyone doesn't know, Noivern stops any damage done to this Pokemon by basics. So it turns off Iron Hands, turns off Roaring Moon, turns off Radiant Charizard, turns off Chien-Pao. Like, I guarantee you, he just won, I've probably seen at least 50% of his games by just Covert Flight all game.
Yeah, I've seen this. So this was one of the decks I was considering for the beginning of this format, was like a Pidgeot control attacking list. And the Noivern I thought was good, but I still feel like you have to play a couple Snorlaxes in the deck to be able to like achieve that like in-game board position. But the Noivern basically in the meta we're in right now just seems insane.
And I'll be honest with you, it seems like it's a better version of Snorlax for this type of control. I understand what you're saying completely about, oh, hey, Snorlax is so crucial on early game setup. But if you get Noivern turn 2 with Pidgeots and you're cooking, then like your opponent can't do anything. You're just going to counter catch her on anything. You're potentially hitting 360 HP with a Hero's Cape. So even if you don't get a knockout, or they can at least attack you once, like it's not going to be for a knockout, and then you can just start penny looping or whatever. Or you can't penny the Noivern, but like, you know, get what I'm saying? Like you could switch, do whatever, right? Bravery, Charm, whatever you need to do. But as soon as it's set up, like I don't know how you respond to that at all. Like
the card that surprised me that's not in here is a Salvatore.
Yeah, because you could literally do it turn 1. Like it's huge in the Bayonet lock version with Gardevoir. I'm surprised Salvatore wasn't played. It's not tested, right? Like, but like you could literally.
But I guarantee you, when he's going into those matchups, he's probably setting up a Thornton. He's probably not just putting the Noibat down. He's probably going.
No, of course, yeah. You could Thornton the second
on the
turn
Luxray.
Yeah, or whatever, and you already have the DTE attached, or you already have Mist Energy, and you already have Thornton in hand, or even the Mimikyu. You could already have Mimikyu active with a Cape, and then Thornton to it. Which is crazy. I think another inclusion in this is the Roseanne's backup. I haven't seen this. It's also nuts, this is a very new to stall, but it seems like it has to be a staple now. You can literally shuffle back a special energy, a stadium, and a tool, and a Pokemon. Anything. You could literally shuffle back anything in this deck back in there. You could back your Mist Energy, back your Double Turbo Energy, back your Defiance Band, Cape, Stone, whatever you need.
It just helps you go infinite.
Infinite, man. Infinite. And you could Silene this back into your deck and do it multiple times, like you're chilling. Yeah. And even Pal Pad. You could end 3 Pal Pad. So control is scary. It is absolutely scary. And I hate it.
The one card that's missing from this is this deck. If you miss Silene, you can't go infinite. It does not play Team Yell's Cheer.
It does not. Wow, I didn't even see that. You're right.
I just saw that.
Probably Tord took it.
So it was like mine
Nigga,
now.
I'm playing Team Yell's-Cheer. Who needs this?
That's the only weird thing that like everything else like besides the Noivern, of course, team and the Roseanne. Like
I feel like
the Team Yell is the big thing that like missing.
I think it just replaced. I think Roseanne's backup replaced it based
Probably.
on based on his comfortability. I think it's literally just a 1-for-1 swap.
Yeah,
In that kind of
that makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah, I think it's 1-for-1 swap because
I guess in those in-game boards you're just attacking. You're trying to set up different.
And
attackers.
his control is so much more tool reliant. It's not like, hey, I'm putting Bravery Charm on every Pokemon and we're just gonna go at it. It's so individual. I think his list played. I mean, I can compare it right now. Is it the same number of tools? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think it's more tools.
5 tools. That's Bradner's list. I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, same amount of tools actually. But I think it's less energy. And then last card I want to ask you about because I just saw this for the first time today. Do you like the Bouffalant? What matchup is the Bouffalant swinging?
Hina.
Just so you can't.
They can't just sit behind one Tina
and you just can't
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so because like how Bradner was playing it, which because he knew about the Noivern, so he couldn't just attack with Shred because it's normally what your game plan is against Stall, or at least lack Stall. You just go Shred, and you never evolve up.
Yeah.
But unless you're taking like 2 prizes, and then you're kind of swapping around and stuff.
Yeah, I get that. Credits
basically
to Thornton,
like, yes, Thornton seemed crazy.
I played Thornton, but yeah, Dudunsparce Moon today.
Oh my goodness!
I won stall because of it. Well, side vote. He like counter catcher Greninja with dark energy attached. I Thornton to vengeful fletching Roaring Moon, and I won.
That's awful.
After tempting trap, the guy who got 16th played it. I'm not kidding. The 16th place Roaring Moon to Dudunsparce won Thornton instead of the penny. It's the coolest. I love Thornton. It's so awesome. Sorry, didn't mean to sidetrack you. It's fine.
No, but the Bouffalant just seems very good.
Yeah.
It also like, I think I'm trying to think of like other matchups that is good. The biggest one I think is Tina. I think it's in there. It has to be Tina.
And maybe Zard, right? But there's other ways to win the Zard matchup. But like they only play with 6 energy. 7 energy.
Yeah, they only play 6.
And you're lost zoning them. So if you Rod,
but then they're Okoing you back. That's the thing.
Not if you have a charm on.
What's that? 2? Yeah, you're right.
Or Cape.
Yeah.
And you can just Rod the Bouffalant back.
You die through Cape.
Oh, Cape's plus 100.
Or through Charm.
Look, you're doing 180. He's got 130 health, right?
He has 130 plus 50.
Oh, I'm thinking booster capsule. I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, booster capsule 60.
Yeah. Also, they play they also play Devo for Charizard. So.
Yeah. I think that's how you win it. I think you go. You just go Devo or Roseanne backup Devo.
Yep.
Like a couple
over
times.
And over again. Yep.
And then you kill the Charmeleon.
Again, Noivern.
That matchup just seems so bad for Control or for Zard.
Yeah, well, obviously not, because Tord's the best, dude. It's just ridiculous. Obviously, he played the more Snorlax heavier control version, so he won it easily with the 4 Professor Turo. But it's still, nonetheless, Tord played it. I think he went like 11-0-3 day 1, and then won the whole tournament day 2, obviously, and in the finals. Yeah. Just quick shout outs to fun decks that also made it into the top 32. We mentioned the Ancient Box. There's one Arceus Armor Rouge in top 32, which is gross.
Yeah.
It's the only Arceus that's confirmed in top 32.
No, there's one. Alessandro Fendra at 28th.
28th. Oh, no, you're right. I missed that. So there's two. Two Arceus.
It's like a control Arceus deck.
With the
which 3 Grabber, 3 Eries.
I got it on the screen here. It's crazy.
Fluttermane.
I didn't even know this. This is news to me.
This is wild.
This is 3 Eerie. and a slacking.
With a pal pad.
I'm gone, dude. I can't even look at it anymore. I can't.
I love this
RC,
deck.
this is your. I don't want to play Pidgeot Control. Quick searching's too good. I want to just do it once for 2 cards.
I want to do it once and then hit with slacking.
And then also, if I play other controls, my counter catcher's useless.
Exactly.
He literally just
Best
he's
kind.
just barbaric. Oh my god, I can't. What a pile. I don't, dude, I can't.
That's a pile. That is
too
a pile.
big of a brain for me. I can't. I'm not smart enough. I'm not worthy of your cooking. I'm not worthy. That's 5-star cooking right there. Everything else we kind of expected. The 2 Gardevoir, Piper played it, and Fabian that you mentioned earlier. The tool build's crazy. And so this segues super nicely. You're going to Orlando this weekend. Literally 5-6 days away, depending on when you're listening to this, or whenever I get it edited in my, whatever. But like, this is everything, dude. I have no idea what you're gonna do or how you're gonna prepare, but I'm so glad I'm not going because I'm lost.
I've been working a lot with shout out my buddy Jordan. We've been working like basically since the set got announced, like fully announced. We've been working on we've been working on like just trying to like figure out what's good.
Yeah.
So we started with like the Dark Ancient box. First we started with Dino box, and then we're like, okay, this deck's not great.
Well, you know why your Dark Ancient box didn't work, right?
I didn't have Dudunsparce.
I didn't have the Dudunsparce.
And then like we switched over to Pidgeot Control. And then we were losing to like random stuff. Like we kept losing to like Dialga and just like stuff that like the deck's not meant to beat.
Right.
Because of how we built the deck was just like it was meant to beat like the top 4 decks. And of course Lugia is an auto loss. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. At that how we built the deck, it was just an auto loss.
Yeah.
And then we switched over to Arc Armorge. We played like I probably have like 80 games in with Arc Armorge.
Come on, no, you didn't.
Yes, I promise you, I have a giant spreadsheet for it.
I'm so mad.
And then we started looking at each other, and we're like, bro, we have to work hard to barely win games.
Yeah,
like, we're playing out of our mind, and we're just barely winning games, and our opponent's just like doing whatever.
Yeah,
we finally settled on we're just gonna play the best deck in the room. We're just gonna play Charizard.
Yeah,
like
Charizard.
It's the best deck. We're literally just gonna play the best deck and like
now
kind of just hope we get there.
Now with you saying that, are you gonna play towards Charizard deck, or maybe change it slightly?
I think
because I think that's the best shot to beating the Control.
I'm probably just gonna take the L to Control, to be honest.
To your 6% control matchup, yeah.
To my 6% control matchup, like if I hit it twice,
no.
Okay.
I meant like it's 6% of the meta is what it came out to.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like if I hit it twice, that's fine. Like you roll those variants sometimes.
Yeah, out of 9 games, you're hoping you hit it less than twice.
Yeah. If I like, it's been like 6 to 7% like this whole year, and I've hit it once.
Yeah.
In like 7 tournaments. Like, okay.
Yeah.
If I hit it, I hit it. So I'm probably just gonna build it to where like if I see everything but control, I'm fine.
Sure.
And I'm gonna try to like incorporate the 1/1 bib because I've been testing that for a while. I like it a lot because you can go to like those solo single prize deck or like solo single prize matchup where like you Turo up your like big Zard and like because they should be killing your Pidgeot.
Hopefully.
Like if they're not killing your Pidgeot, you've already won.
Correct.
Like that's the
You're
thing.
so far ahead.
You're so far ahead it shouldn't matter.
Correct.
So like that's kind of the game plan I'm going for.
Yeah.
Just put in as many games, like practice the Zard mirror. We're playing more towards like what William is playing than Tord. I think Tord built the best deck for the room. For that room. And
you got the Alice Vader list.
Yes.
Which both William of them played Cleffa. Shout out Cleffa. I love that card.
I think Cleffa is insane.
Cleffa's
it has free retreat and it replaces the baby Mew. So
Yeah.
in my testing, there were so many hands where, of course, you want to go second because you want to get the buddy pop and Arvin plays. There's so many times where I drew up with Rotom, and I'm like, bro, this is not playable.
Not good enough. You have to
It's
road
not
them
good
again.
enough.
Yeah, you have to road them again to make sure you get enough.
Yes, that's the thing. Is like if I have to use Rotom twice, I probably already lost.
Yeah, you already lost. Yeah.
So
100%.
it just feels great because like when the Cleffa, I've always been a big Cleffa fan.
Yeah.
Like I have 6 of the Altart Cleffas in my binder.
You're ridiculous.
Every time I
Me
see
too.
one, I promise you, I have 6 of them in my binder.
I'm not paying
and they
$4. I paid 25 cents today for a regular Cleffa. We're not.
Bro, I paid no. The thing is, I paid $1 a piece for all of them.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Just because EUIC spike, fine, dude. But come on.
Bro, I'm about to sell them like crazy.
Dude, it's still only going to be $4. So
that's fine. I paid $1. That's plus $3.
I think the biggest thing with Williams list is super cool. It's more consistent, right? It's not like you're crazy. I'm playing teams y'all cheer. It does. I does play the Avery when towards the knot. Avery, sorry.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know what you mean.
It plays the
I think Erie's insane.
It's crazy. It's stupid. Don't touch my hand. I don't like it. But what's crazy is though, I think the middle ground, it might be where you should look more into. I think Tord really showed, like, I don't remember who said it. Maybe it was Vinny after his game 1 win with Ancient Box. But there is cards that can replace every ace spec. And I never thought of it this way, besides Reboot Pod.
Yes.
Reboot Pod can't be replaced. That's different. But I think Tord showed the power of Counter Catcher in Zard to a point where...
He only plays 1, too. That's the thing.
Well, you can only play... No, the Prime Catcher. Sorry, I said Counter Catcher.
Prime Catcher.
Yeah, I think you have to play Prime Catcher in Zard. I understand that the Chen-Pao matchup is better with Maximum Belt. But as you can see by the top 32 and the conversion rates and whatnot, obviously it converted pretty decently. But like, you could just Counter Catcher around it as Zard.
I think if you're playing Bibarel, I agree.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, towards Dane, if you're going to play the 1-1 Bibarel, 2-2 Pidgey outline, like I think you have to play Prime Catcher. If you're going to play exact 60 as William did, go for it. I think this list is solid. This is super cool.
I think this is the best baseline list we have.
Yeah, 100%. I wish there was one more Poffin in here. He played a second TM Devo. I think you need 4 Poffin or 4 Nestball. Right? It's got to be one of the two. I haven't played this list exactly, though. It just seems like it feels bad if you miss that card turn 1. Right?
I don't think it's as bad as you think.
Maybe, dude. I'm playing 4... obviously a completely different deck, and maybe I put Buddy Poffin in, but like it feels bad, so bad not setting up, and I feel like it might be needed, you know. I mean, but then you're Arvining and whatnot. You're playing more Arvins.
It depends. How often are you going first with the deck? I think that's going to be the biggest question you ask yourself.
How many coin flips you win?
Like this? Yes, how many coin flips are you winning? Or like how many decks want to go first, so they're going to force you to go second.
Which that's an interesting topic too. And most, I think, I feel fine right now for most decks. Is there any deck that still has to go second right now?
Besides like your Arceus Bile decks and Lugia. But the thing is with Lugia, it doesn't feel awful going second.
I think well that's what I'm saying. Like, so Lugia has to go first, or else it feels not as bad. Or you read the win and whatnot. But like,
yeah, it doesn't feel as good.
Arceus needs to go first.
Arceus has to go first.
Every other deck
has to go first.
Every other deck feels like it's chilling. You know
I was about to say, because like Hands doesn't like it wants to go second to take that turn 1 knockout. Guardy wants to go second. I think it can operate going first, but it wants to go second. Like almost everything feels like it wants to go second, besides like of course Arceus and like Chen-Pao wants to go first too. That's probably the biggest one.
Brock had no way of knowing. My wife called me. I'm so sorry. But yes, I agree. I can check it. I mean, like, the turn 2 debate, I feel like it's the best time ever, right? Like, I had a hard time today at locals deciding to go first or second with Roaring Moon.
I think blind you always go second.
Yeah, but like
if
if
you don't know what your opponent.
yeah, I get that. But like even then though, like going first and getting 2 or 3 Dunsparce down, like I'm flying.
Yeah,
I'm drawing
I was
9
about to
cards
say
turn 2 without a supporter.
yeah.
And so like
Yeah.
it's hard to figure out. Even like I played against Dialga for fun. One of my good buddies was playing Dialga. Like it was the same thing for him. Like, do you want to go turn 1, turn 2? Because you can't guarantee the Arvin play with Dialga with how many energy you play in that deck and whatnot. Long story short, like we still couldn't figure it out. But Dialga's super cool. But like I think it's the best time with the first turn rules. It's been for a long time. Because last format felt terrible going first. Bro, pre-rotation going first is the nightmare. I lost so many cups and challenges by flipping tails or not going
the
first.
thing is I played Gardevoir for so long, and like, I went second once all day at Knoxville
That's crazy.
because I didn't win a coin. Like, I won like one coin flip all day.
Yeah, but everybody else wanted to go second.
Everybody wanted to go second, and of course, I'm a Gardevoir player, and I'm like,
Yeah, because
I'll go.
Yep,
That's fine.
we're all disgusted by you. It's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, you do you, Doug.
I mean,
Put your
that's
pile.
200 points and 4 mats on my wall.
Put your pile in the corner. Okay. Cool. Okay, so any predictions going into Orlando? What you want to do? A winner? You want to do top? Whatever. All right, here, let's do it here. What deck wins?
I think it's gonna be Charizard.
Okay, Charizard wins. Yeah. Surprise top 16.
Surprise top 16.
Yeah, what deck do you think that could finish top 16 that would surprise you?
Dango. Go Dango.
I think a Dango could sneak in too.
That would surprise me.
It would surprise me. I think
there's
it could.
Some good players.
Yeah, there's good players
that might be behind it.
And I think it's just not tested enough, in my opinion, and this is my own fault as well. But like, it just doesn't seem to have a bad matchup. Its worst matchup is itself, right? Like it's just tough. And if you can start stringing away cards and you're playing best 2 out of 3, like there's a shot. I'm definitely trying it out with Dudunsparce later this week. I think it might be the answer. You play 4 Artisan.
That's just 4. A lot of people.
Why? Instead of playing Pokestops, I'm gonna guarantee draw 3 cards every turn by playing Artisan, Dudunsparce. You're already playing the Ultra Ball. You're already playing the Energy Recovery. All the cards in your hand instead of the discard pile. Like I think it should work in theory. I understand your concern and your thoughts, and I have those same as well. But until you start testing it, we have no idea. Like I saw a list of Chen Pao not playing Pokestops and playing 3/3 to Dunsparce, which like is the same exact theory.
Seems wild.
No, because like what's different about it? You can literally thin your deck out with Shivery Chill, draw 3 cards, even Cryptomaniac those 3 cards if you wanted to. It's the exact same thing.
I think the biggest difference to me
and you win control. You don't lose the control anymore by getting counter catcher barrel up.
So are they cutting the barrel now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah, why would you play barrel and like you have a big hand size now, but barrel is useless. You have like a 10 card hand because you Dudunsparce 3 times.
Okay.
It's a theory. I'm going to test it out.
I don't like it.
You don't like it in Moon either, but this guy made 10 grand. Or whatever, 5 grand. The Dudunsparce is the future. I think it literally is. It's the biggest thing with the Dudunsparce that's so awesome, and I'm going to harp it till it dies, is that it is the only draw engine in the format that is control proof.
That's fair.
It's the only one. It's the Greninja, Barrel, even Pidgeot has free retreat, but like you don't. It's just one quick search, so it's like it's still very control weird. You have to turtle it back up or whatever. Like it literally puts itself back in the deck, and you draw 3 cards, and you're back in the game. It's literally the only support engine control proof, and like I think I'm gonna try it in every deck but Charizard because that seems a little too risky there. Like, there's not enough space for a 3/3. I mean, actually,
I'm
wait a minute.
Pidgeot. I'm sticking about Pidgeot.
Hold on, let's back up 2 steps.
No, keep going forward.
Tord played 3/3 of a draw support engine. Just saying, it's a straight swap.
But he got the hand pick. He got to hand pick one card every turn.
Yeah, he can Cryptomaniac. It's fine. He can pick 2 cards every turn. He can pick 2. And then you never miss Charmander's taking us too far. Okay, any closing thoughts? You're playing Charizard. Orlando's going to be sick. I think Stahl's going to be heavy. My favorite deck to make top 16 on the slide is Espathra, because I think Charizard is going to go up even more. I think Espathra...
What do you think is going to win?
Oh, gosh. My heart says Roaring Moon. I think Control wins, though. I think based on the success of Control...
Be like a Snorlax Control?
I would lean more towards a good player picking up Alessandro's type of list. It's so much more skill expressive that a good player, like a Cal Connor playing this Alessandro Cremasoli list, seems dangerous. And I don't think anyone is going to have enough time to master Tord's list and how that works in a Control matchup.
I don't think anybody is going to ever master.
I have it sleeved up. I will figure it out.
Like, I understand how it works.
No, yeah, we know the master class he did is ridiculous. Congrats to Tord again. 5th IC. And what? I think IC's only been around for 7 years.
2016. So
8 years. Close. I was close. He's won 5 ICs in 8 years. That's ridiculous. And 2 of those years were canceled. So that's ridiculous.
And also he has, I believe, he has 2 second places also.
And second place, yeah, dude, he's just ridiculous. I can't get it. Shout out to Azul for playing mid Tina. What a classic. I think that's all the things that we went over this weekend. Orlando's this Saturday. You're going. Good luck to you. If you need help testing, you let me know. We're going to, I think you're going to break it, man. I think eventually you have to just get over the hump and you're going to roll with it. I think Charizard's your answer. I don't think you've never not played Charizard. Is this your first time, if you do, play Charizard to an event?
Yeah, it is.
I played Lost Zone Charizard, and I was 1 game away from day 2 in Peoria. I just tied twice, which is dumb, and then I scooped to a guy. So, yeah. I think Charizard is just too good. Espathra is going to be my sneaky. This Brandon Outfit list is going to be the sneaky one. The Bayonet in there, like Charizard's worst nightmare is a Espathra. Any closing thoughts for you, my guy?
We're going to try to do this at least as often as possible.
I would say we're going to shoot for bi-weekly right now. Okay. And then if we can get to weekly based on Sundays, like you're going to be in Orlando on Sunday. So
I travel a lot.
No, that's what I'm saying. And I am a father of 2, happily married. Yeah. My wife's not going to let me, every weekend. Yeah. So we'll play it out. But my goal right now is bi-weekly. Have these up the Monday or Tuesday after recording, because normally we're going to do it Sunday or Monday night. And then we're going to hopefully make this a regular thing. I'm super pumped about it. The Total Pile Podcast on Twitter and YouTube. I don't know how to do Spotify yet, but we'll figure it out. We're going to figure this out. We're going to ask everybody around us, and we're going to figure this out together. So if you're an artist or know an artist, I have an idea in my head. I don't have the skills to utilize this idea in my brain, but I know it's a sick one. So if you want to draw or no one's going to draw, that'd be sick. Thanks. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you after Orlando.
Peace out.